Hi, George Scott, publisher of Beat Bad Local Government. My goal is to operate this news site as a daily news outlet on three hot button issues: property tax, public education, accountability, and criminal justice, with criminal justice focusing on soft on criminal standards for bail and even failure to prosecute. Let's take those issues in a row. Annually, most property owners do not take advantage of using state law to file protests on property values rendered to them by their central appraisal districts. In fact, the system imposed by the state on local appraisal districts depends upon most property owners accepting the notice of value, surrendering to government, and paying the bill, never protesting because government is always right, right? Well, our mission is to explain why that is a mistake, why it empowers a system of mass appraisal for the many to value your individual property wrong. Mass appraisal, by definition, is a collection of formulas and assumptions and practices for tens or hundreds of thousands or even millions of properties that do not produce an actual value on your property and the individual characteristics which separate it from all others. And I say this as a former member of the executive committee of the Harris County Appraisal District. Now, for some 30 years, the Texas Education Agency has made a mockery of public education accountability through testing eras from TAS to now STAR, arising from earlier civil rights issues emerging from segregation and separate but equal school systems going back to the 1970s. The TEA began annual testing of students that gained statutory and constitutional force only in 1993. Since, the TEA has spent a quarter of a century grossly misrepresenting the academic integrity of what the TEA calls constitutional equity, grade level, mastery of grade level, and even credible college readiness indicators. And I say this as a former president and researcher of a major Harris County nonprofit research organization that has tracked this from that starting point. Finally, in recent years throughout the country, and now maybe locally, there has been a disturbing trend that seeks to apologize for being tough on crime through radical changes in the bail system that seem to put law enforcement officers and agencies and the public on politically correct trial for demanding consistently tough standards throughout the system. And I say this as a former journalist who has taken on bad conduct and incompetence of law enforcement agencies in my career, and as a citizen who hung a criminal trial because I would not let a district attorney convict an indigent minority defendant on lazy, crappy evidence. This effort will exist at least through May 31st in my self-imposed put up or shut up challenge to make it of sufficient quality that you will help me get the word out to as many possible, and maybe we can attract other sponsors. I am not afraid to fail in this project, but I'm going to make a gargantuan effort to succeed. At 70 and retired, I don't need a job and a salary, but for body and soul, I still need a mission. And I'm choosing this effort as my last professional public policy rodeo. At 70 and closer to 71, I still believe in the future. And this perhaps is my last effort to make a difference.